हेलो बच्चों, कैसे हैं आप सभी? सो लेट्स बिगिन आवर एजेंडा ऑफ द डे, दैट इज डेली न्यूज़पेपर एनालिसिस. We always use daily edition of the Hindu paper, and today is 20th March and we'll be taking the first article that is on selection and election. This is about the election and selection and election, related to the ongoing election, and then selection of the Chief Election Commissioner and the Election Commission. There is a body which has been made and the constituents of it. This was already in news few days back. I guess it was in news on 16th and also on 14th March, and it is an ongoing discussion. There is not much to be read from the article, but I would want you to look at one of the articles that appeared on 16th of March, that I had made some elaborate points from that note. Just look at this. Like this will be related to your GS paper, mains GS paper 2. That will be related to appointments to various constitutional posts, powers, functions and responsibility. Look, if this this will be also important for prelims also, because this is in news consistently. Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners appointment, conditions of service and terms of office Act 2023. So in short, Chief Election Commissioner, other election commissioners Act 2023. You have to read the context and the constitution, etc., and how the selection is done. Like the context is that recently Election Commissioner Arun Goel resigned, and the same has been mentioned in today's article as well, from the office of Election Commissioner. This has reduced the number of members in Election Commission to only one member. So the selection it was important because the members have to be intact to make it keep functioning. As the general elections approach in 24, there is need to appoint new members, as I said. Then Constitutional Bench of Supreme Court in Anup Baranwal versus Union of India case. So this case is important for you to note. Anup Baranwal versus Union of India case. Supreme Court has said that a committee comprising Prime Minister, Leader of the Opposition of Lok Sabha and Chief Justice of India will advise the President on appointments to Election Commission of India until Parliament enacts a law on the subject. So in this case, Supreme Court has given this direction, and it has said that until the Parliament, it will work until the Parliament comes up with a law. So the Parliament has already now come up with the law. So this is the context. Now further, if you look at what was the ground for the judgment? The ground for the judgment was that executive full control over the appointment of CEC and other election commissions to the Election Commission of India degraded the independence of ECI. So people were talking, and the scholars were saying that the independence and the position of the Election Commission of India was declining due to too much interference from the executive, that is the government, and that is why Supreme Court had come up with such a judgment. In the second point, the collegium like independent body for appointment of CEC and other ECs will provide a level playing field. So the collegium, which was suggested by Supreme Court, it says that it will bring fairness and independence to Election Commission of India. Then the fourth ground, because of which the judgment was given, that there will be a greater trust among the opposition parties as well, and then there will be a greater check on the political party enjoying power in the center. So check and balance will be ensured. Fifth ground was ensuring greater fairness in elections. So these were the grounds based on which Supreme Court had given this judgment. Further, you need to know the features of the act of the which we looked at. If you have to remember, Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners Act 2023. So we are looking at the salient features of this act. What are the salient features? Qualification of CEC and the election commissions. Sir, there will be a search committee, there will be a selection committee, and then selection committee can also consider any other person that those included in the panel by the search committee. So what will be the composition of election commission? Election commission shall consist of A, Chief Election Commissioner, B, such member of other election commissioners as the President may fix, okay. So this will be the composition of election commission. What will be the qualification of Chief Election Commission and the election commissions? persons holding or have held a post equivalent to the rank of Secretary to Government of India. So this is one qualification which has been mentioned. There shall be persons of integrity having knowledge and experience in management and conduct of elections. So this is the qualification of becoming Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioners. Okay, and then it had mentioned about search committee. What is the search committee? A search committee headed by Minister of Law and Justice. So this is important, headed by Minister of Law and Justice, comprising 2 other members. So one will be Minister of Law and Justice. The 2 other members will be not below the rank of Secretary to Government of India. Shall prepare a panel of 5 members. So these 3 people will be preparing a panel which will comprise of 5 members for consideration of selection committee or appointment as Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner. So there will be a search committee which will bring up a panel which will be finally selecting the Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner. So this is the work of the search committee. Then the selection committee which will be made by the search committee. What is the feature of the selection committee? Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners shall be appointed by President. So note down, they will be appointed by the President on the recommendation of selection committee consisting of, this is important for you, the selection committee will comprise of Prime Minister, who will be the chairperson, Leader of the Opposition of the Lok Sabha, member, Union Cabinet Minister to be nominated by Prime Minister, member. Okay, then we have seen already this point. What will be the term of the office of Chief Election Commissioner and the Election Commissioners? Then the term and the salary has to be known, and the leave also. So these are the terms of the office of the Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner, and the salary is just give a glance through it, not to be memorized much. But then this point is important, that Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners shall hold the office for a term of 6 years. For a term of 6 years, or till he attains the age of 65 years. 6 years or the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. Where an election commissioner is appointed as a CEC, his term of office shall not be more than 6 years in aggregate as the election commission and CEC. So when an election commissioner becomes Chief Election Commissioner, the total term of office will be comprising of him or her serving as election commissioner plus the Chief Election Commissioner. It will not be beyond 6 years. So it has to be within 6 years as the term of office says for Chief Election Commissioner. Okay. Then resignation and removal, Chief Election Commissioner or Election Commissioner, we serve the resignation, resign office by writing to the President. So this is another PT pointer. If one has to resign, he will be resigning by writing to the President. Then Chief Election shall not be removed from his office except like manner and on like grounds as a judge of Supreme Court. So Supreme Court, not High Court. If one has to be removed from Chief Election Commissioner, he will be removed on the same manner and the grounds as the judge of a Supreme Court. Then other election commissioners shall not be removed from office except on the recommendation of Chief Election Commissioner. So Chief Election Commissioner will be recommending to remove election commissioners. Okay. And then what are the provisions for leave and the transaction of business of election commission and protection of CEC and election commission? That also has to be looked at. Please read this line. Transaction of business of election commissioner. Election commission may regulate procedure and allocation of its business by a unanimous decision amongst the CEC and the election commissioners. So it will be a unanimous decision comprising of CECs and ECs. Okay. And however, if there is any difference of opinion, such a matter shall be decided according to the opinion of the majority. So it will be unanimous decision, or whatever it is decided by the majority, that will be taken as a final. Protection of CEC and other election commissioners. So to ensure the independence and fairness in election commissions working, there has to be certain protection provided. What is the protection provided? No court shall entertain to continue any civil or criminal proceedings against any person who is or was a Chief Election Commissioner. No court. Okay. Or an election commission for any act, thing or word, so civil or criminal both, done or spoken by him in the course of acting or in discharge of his official duty or function. So this act might come in mains also, and that can be asked in prelims as well. Good news is that whoever is appearing 2024, your exam has been postponed 20 days. You can go through your weak areas also and make them stronger. and that's how you can come up with the flying colors and clear prelims. You have 20 more days to revise the things, okay, and it has never been done. It is happening because of the general elections which are due. Look at a practice question as well, because without practicing, what you read is like eating without digesting. So look at the question. Consider the following statements about Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioner, appointment, conditions of services and terms of office Act 2023. Read the first line, second statement and third statement and fourth statement. If you read, then you will find that because it is asking about the correct statement. All the four statements given are correct. This is the additional information that I have tried to provide you through question. So all the four statements are correct regarding this Act 2023. Okay. So with this, let's move to our second article, and that is the curious case of Soasama IP and Vechur cow. So because this article is about one of the breeds of the cow, we will also be looking at other indigenous cows as well, and we'll be also reading about one of the cow which was in news because of the picture was circulating with our Honorable Prime Minister, and we'll be also looking at some of the questions. Look at the article here. It is written by none other than Shashi Tharoorji. The woman which has been mentioned, the name Soasama IP, she is Padma Shri awardee in 2022, and she has worked for Vechur cow, one of the indigenous breeds of the country. Dr. Soasama IP's story is located at the heart of India's tussle to industrialize rapidly while seeking to preserve its sublime biodiversity at a time when the former was fashionable and the latter was not. So when India got independence, the first few 5-year plans focused on industrialization, and agriculture and allied sectors was completely ignored, we can say. But then when in subsequent 5 years plan, it was realized that even the agriculture has to be taken care of. But then while we were focusing on industrialization and then we shifted to agriculture, our focus on agriculture sector as well, there was more focus on production, increased output, etc. In that race, in that rat race, the biodiversity somehow got hampered. The indigenous variety of the cows were ignored because of, and what is the benefit of having indigenous cows, and what is the benefit of having more diversity is like they are more resistant to the diseases, they are more resistant to heat and climate change, etc. That is why it is an significant work if indigenous cow is being protected or is being taken care of by some women, and here it is Vechur cow. Okay, so this has been talked in this article. Let's look at the constructed form of the article, and let's look at some of the characteristics of Vechur cow. And because this is in news, so they might ask about the characteristics and what are the benefits or significance of having more indigenous cows. What are the characteristics? It is 90 centimeter tall and 1 meter long. Vechur cows demand very little food and no special care. So without much special care, without much water and food, they can survive, and they are quite resistant to climate change. The milk was rich in fat, and the variety was tolerant to heat and resistant to most diseases, including foot and mouth diseases. Foot and mouth diseases is quite prevalent among the animals, among the milch animals especially. Vechur cow can easily survive in adverse climates, as all the indigenous cows are. They are quite good for the biodiversity and also quite resistant to climate change. The Vechur cows have now become icons of India's native cow conservation movement, and more than 6,000 such dwarf cows support to the milk and cow dung needs of the people across the country. Extinct. The milk revolution of the 1940s, accompanied by a crossbreeding whip from the government, had started wiping out native cow breeds. So while during the white revolution, the focus was on the cows which were giving us more milk production. So indigenous cows were ignored, and then the cows which were native to the country started getting extinct. And then in Kerala, a Livestock Improvement Act was passed in 1961, and it declared possession of native breeds of cows as illegal. Imagine, a kind of act also was passed wherein having these indigenous cows were termed as illegal. So across the state, Vechur cows were extensively inseminated with exotic bulls. So exotic bulls, their semen was inseminated in these cows, and their indigenous quality started getting eroding or started getting extinct. All right, so then they become on the verge of extinction, and they include Sikkim small and short legged Siri cow as well. So in the Sikkim there is a Siri cow, okay, and the Thar Parkar of Rajasthan's Thar desert. So these are the two other varieties that you need to note down: Siri cow of Sikkim and Thar Parkar of Rajasthan Thar desert. So these are some of the native cow breeds along with Vechur cow of Kerala that you need to note down, okay. Then there is another cow breed, Thenmalla Kullan, okay. You can look at the picture of Vechur cow. This is the picture of Vechur cow, and this is the lady who got Padma Shri in production of these cows. So Thenmalla Kullan, the dwarf cow, comes with many distinctive features including a small hump. Reared by tribespeople in Aripa and Thenmalla, they are less docile and basically thrive on forest base fodder from nearby oil palm estates. So they need less care, they need less food, they need less water, etc. And the quality of milk is very much good and significant. So why not to care for the indigenous and the native cow of the country? Why we are so much obsessed with this these breeds which are just giving milk, too much milk, but they're not good for health or the environment also. So this is why this article is has been discussing about the native cows. Though they produce the nutrient rich A2 milk, the quantity is very low and they are reared mainly for calves and manure. Kerala Animal Husbandry Department plans to register Thenmalla Kullan as indigenous breed, okay. So look at some indigenous cow breeds and then indigenous buffalo breeds as well. What are the indigenous cow breeds? Gir, Sahiwal, Rathi, Deoni, Kankrej, Tharparkar, and we did see in the in previous discussion as well, Red Sindhi, Kangeam, Ongale, etc. And indigenous buffalo breeds कौन-कौन से है? Murra, then Jafrabadi, Pandharpuri and Mehsana. These are some indigenous buffalo breeds that you need to note down, and they can be asked in your prelims questions, okay. Then the article, the one of the breeds which I wanted you to look at, and it was quite in news because the picture being circulated with Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, is a Panganur cows. They are quite small. They are as small as dogs people keep in the houses. So it is being talked that in spite of having dogs at home, you can have such cows, but they are quite costly and still not available in other parts of the country. Look at this cow picture and you need to look at the details. And what are the details? It is an indigenous breed of cattle native to Panganur village in Chittor district of Andhra Pradesh. So name of the cow is from the village itself where it is being breeded is Panganur, okay. Size kya hai? They are distinctive dwarf breed recognized as the world's shortest humped cattle. So they are world's shortest, not even just India, they are world's shortest humped cattle, standing at just around 70 to 90 centimeter tall and weighing less than 200 kgs, okay. Coat color ranging from white, grey, light brown to dark brown or red. Some individuals may exhibit a combination of white patches of red brown. So color is not that much important, the size is important, this detail is important. What are the features? This is important for you now. They can adapt to harsh climate, they are milk-eat, they are valued for their high fat A2 type milk, perfect for ghee production yielding 1 to 3 liters per day. Though they produce very less amount of liters of the milk, but the quality of the milk they produce is quite good for the health of the humans. Then with 8% milk fat, surpassing other native breeds with 3 to 4%. So other native breeds produce milk with 3 to 4% fat, but their milk has 8% milk fat. So look at the distinctive feature of their milk. Population distribution, they are not just found in Andhra Pradesh, but they are also found in other states such as Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala and including Telangana, as we already saw. Conservation efforts kya hai? There are conservation efforts to this cow, native cow. Andhra Pradesh government has launched Mission Panganur to boost the cattle population using IVF technology. Cattle Center has also sanctioned funds for the promotion of Panganur, etc. What is the significance of Panganur breed? This is important for you, the significance. Look at the significance. And we have already mentioned the significance, it is the same. Beyond the economic and indigenous importance, these cows are revered as gold mine in the region. So if you have seen the previous year question paper, I always suggest you to keep looking at previous year question paper. You can see there have been questions about some breed. Some of the features has been mentioned in various statements, and it has UPSC has asked these statements are true about which of the following animal or the species. So they can, again, UPSC can ask form questions based on such information, like they are considered as gold mine in the region, playing a crucial role in local temple ceremonies. Then Vijayanagara emperor supported this breed. This is important information for you. Vijayanagara emperors supported this breed, and it has historical connection to wealth and prosperity. So this is a very much probable area for you to note down for 2024 prelims as well. Okay, and then look at the practice question. Why are Panganur cows considered significant in the context of biodiversity conservation? So if you read, we have already discussed. Option C will fit the most. They are classified as rare breed, emphasizing their importance for genetic diversity as well. Okay, so this is about Panganur breed, and with this we finish our second article. Now let's move to the third article. Ties that epitomize India's neighborhood first policy. So look, yes, in our yesterday's DNA analysis as well, we have gone through very much in detail about Galafu project, which has been started by Bhutan government. Okay, and we have shown the pictures also, the relevance of Galafu project for India, for India's bilateral relations with Bhutan, and for Bhutan as well, and which are all other countries which are included in this project, how it will benefit the country India, how it will benefit Bhutan, and what is the route which it will be passing, it will be involving. And then we did see that why there is a huge significance of Galafu project, along with the mapping work as well. So the same that's why I say, if you read newspaper consistently daily, your efforts with every day will decline. So today's newspaper you can cover in not more than 20-25 minutes. This article is just a repetition of previously discussed Galafu project article, which I think we discussed yesterday or day before yesterday. But then as we have already discussed about Galafu project, what I wanted you to look at is India-Bhutan relations, the present India-Bhutan relations, and what India-Bhutan further is advancing in terms of bilateral relations. So look at that. How are Bhutanese concerns aligned with India? Because Galafu project, this is quite in alignment and interest of India as well. In the bilateral relations with Bhutan. That is why we are going one step ahead, and we are looking at India-Bhutan bilateral relationship with overall, larger perspective, and that is how Bhutanese concern aligns with India. So what are the points? Geographical concerns are there, habitat and conservation issues are arising, then there are geopolitical concerns. These are the areas which are aligning with India. And then security issues are etc. is there. So look at these points I have provided you to as a fodder to think and try to solve some questions based on India-Bhutan bilateral relations. And then further what are the concerns? Then further there's economic concern, financial infrastructure is there, employment issues are there, Bhutanese youth is moving out of the country in search of the jobs. So these are the concerns which are aligning with India of the Bhutan in terms of bilateral relations. What are the current prevailing India-Bhutan relationship? So if you read, officially the diplomatic relation between Bhutan and India were established in January 1968 itself. This bilateral relationship is majorly guided by Indo-Bhutan Friendship Treaty. So there is a Indo-Bhutan Friendship Treaty. This is important. Then if you look at Article 2 of this treaty, it declares that India would not interfere in Bhutan's administrative affairs, and point to be noted is that India stick to this article and it has never interfered in Bhutan's internal relations, and the latter would be guided by the former's advice in its external relations. Okay, so this is the Article 2 of India-Bhutan Friendship Treaty, which India has always abided by. Then there is economic cooperation and infrastructural cooperation. Then if you look at infrastructural cooperation, there are three infrastructural cooperation, hydroelectric projects that you need to read, that is Chukha, and then for this Krichu, and then another is Tala hydroelectric project. These are 3 hydroelectric projects in terms of infrastructural cooperation between the 2 countries. Growth cooperation. For the 12th 5-year plan of Bhutan, India is investing rupees 45 billion. So India is helping in terms of financials as well. Look at this question and see if you can solve. Analyze the significance of India's developing bilateral relationship with Bhutan. Note the challenges and suggest the way out. So you have to, in this, what should be the approach? You have to write down the common points which are in interest of both the countries, and the challenges in meeting those common points, those common interests, and then a way forward. You can write, you must write about India-Bhutan friendship treaty as well in this. Okay, then the last article that is guaranteed MSP is an ethical imperative. So while the farmers' protest started in the country, we had read in detail various demands made by the farmers, and one is legalizing MSP, and we had seen the pros and cons of legalizing MSP. Here again I have tried to provide you some enriched content, some extra fodder for you to look at, and if some of the question can come from what is the benefit of legalizing MSP, you can easily solve that. So in the article there is not much to be read. Look at this practice question which I have provided. Critically discuss MSP guarantee law. 150 words, 10 marker. If this kind of question comes, how you should start? You have to write in the introduction. So write an contextual introduction. Approach. I am telling you approach of this question. In introduction, write about MSP guarantee law. And I had already told you there are few ways to write introduction. One is contextual, that I have already told you. This is conceptual, because the question is about legalizing MSP guarantee law. You can directly begin introducing your answer with MSP guarantee law. And what is MSP guarantee law? That I have mentioned here, that you can directly start with in your introduction, and then you can write a context, and the context is that farmers have also been demanding the determination of MSP in accordance with the Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Commission's report. Okay, so this is how you will start the introduction. In the main body now you have to write the pros and cons of MSP guarantee law, and then you have to provide a way forward. Pros and cons we have already discussed. I have mentioned it. You can look here and you can take the points from here, like what will be the FAR arguments, that this MSP guarantee law will bring financial security to the farmers in the vagaries of price instability in the market, risk cover due to climate change, etc. There will be promotion of crop diversification. If the farmers will be secured of the financial gains, then they will diversify their crops production. Baseline of benchmark price. MSP sends a price signal to private players in the market, so private players will also bring up on par the prices. Solution to rural economic distress, because most of the farming activity is taken by the rural populace. Okay, so it will bring a solution to rural economic distress. What will be some of the arguments in against this law? That also you need to look at. What are the arguments against? It will be a huge fiscal burden on the government exchequer, and then risk of undervaluation of crops with low yields, like farmers growing cotton, kharif crop instead of millets in the drought prone region of Marathwada. So there will be an undervaluation of crops with low yields. Increase in food inflation would eventually affect the lower middle class and the poor. What will be another argument in against of MSP guarantee law? Market distortionary and economically unsustainable practice. Some say that it will push away private traders. For example, failure of Maharashtra MSP guarantee law. We have already have Maharashtra MSP guarantee law. It has failed. Why? Because this has pushed away private traders. And the next argument in against MSP law is violation of WTO subsidies principle. India would face opposition in WTO dispute settlement bodies. So India has signed on many agreements at WTO regarding subsidies, etc., and India will face a lot of criticism as WTO and lot of opposition at the WTO dispute settlement bodies. Okay, so these are some of the arguments in favor against of MSP law, guarantee law. Then you have to write, when there is a question, the signaling words like critically analyze, you have to also put forth in your answer way forward or a conclusion as well. So what should be the way forward? Look at the way forward. In way forward, you can mention about price deficiency payment scheme, creation of agricultural infrastructure, support to the farmers, produce organizations, FPOs, etc. These things you can mention in your way forward. Okay, price deficiency payment scheme क्या है? Price deficiency payment schemes of Madhya Pradesh, Bhavantar Bhugtan Yojana, Haryana, these has proved to be successful. So these are the way forward which can be mentioned. Okay, so I have further provided you these points in detailed manner. You can go through this content. This handout will be provided on the Telegram channel of Tathastu-ICS. The link will be provided below the YouTube channel, YouTube discussion of this video, and you can go on that channel and you can download this handout and you can revise your notes or the further points that I have given on the Telegram channel. So yes, I think this is all for today's discussion, and keep reading, keep solving questions. As I said that if you keep on reading without practicing, it's like eating without digesting. So keep reading, keep practicing, keep referring PYQs, keep solving some mocks, and connect your newspaper, whatever you read from newspaper, with main syllabus, and that is how your preparation becomes integrated and it yields more result for you. Okay, so with this little reminder, I end today's daily newspaper analysis. I'll see you in next session. Till then, all the best. Tathastu.